Height is often seen as the ultimate advantage in basketball. Bigger players can block shots, grab rebounds, and dominate the paint, but sometimes the shortest players manage to completely outshine the giants. The NBA is filled with David versus Goliath stories where undersized guards use speed, agility, and court intelligence to take down towering opponents. These games aren't just entertaining. They're a masterclass in strategy, timing, and pure determination. From Muggsy Bogues weaving around 7-foot defenders to Earl Boykins slicing through taller opponents with pinpoint passing, these matchups prove that size doesn't always dictate the outcome. Let's dive into some of the craziest height differences the NBA has ever seen and relive the moments that had fans on the edge of their seats. Muggsy Bogues versus Manute Bol. One of the most mind-blowing height mismatches in NBA history was the legendary pairing of Muggsy Bogues, the 5'3" lightning-fast point guard, against Manute Bol, the 7'7" shot-blocking giant. That's a 2'4" difference, the largest height gap between two players facing off in league history. Watching them play was like witnessing David take on Goliath on a basketball court. Muggsy, who is still the shortest player ever to play in the NBA, used his incredible speed, agility, and court vision to slice past Bol and other towering defenders. He wasn't trying to dunk over Bol. He was using intelligence, quick passes, and clever footwork to outmaneuver a player who could swat the ball away from almost anyone. Bogues led the Charlotte Hornets to multiple playoff appearances, finishing his career with 6,000-plus assists, despite facing giants like Bol, Sean Bradley, and Georgi Murasan night after night. Manute Bol, on the other hand, was a defensive nightmare. He led the league in blocks multiple times and could alter shots just by standing near the rim. Yet even facing a 7'7" wall, Bogues managed to create open shots, break defenses, and prove that skill and strategy could sometimes beat pure size. Their matchups were a spectacle. Fans marveled at Bogues weaving through the paint, sometimes literally under Bol's outstretched arms, showing that determination, speed, and clever play can overcome even the tallest obstacle. It was more than basketball. It was poetry in motion, a true testament to the fact that heart and skill matter as much as height in the NBA. Spud Webb versus Patrick Ewing. One of the most iconic David versus Goliath moments in NBA history came from Spud Webb, the 5'7" dynamo, facing off against Patrick Ewing, the 7-foot Hall of Fame center. The 1'5" height difference didn't stop Webb from becoming one of the most electrifying players of his era. Known for his lightning-fast speed, fearless drives to the basket, and jaw-dropping vertical leap, Webb could seemingly defy physics, especially against taller opponents like Ewing. Spud Webb is perhaps best remembered for winning the 1986 NBA Slam Dunk Contest, where he stunned the league by outjumping giants more than a foot taller than him. In actual games, his matchups against Patrick Ewing were just as impressive. Webb used his low center of gravity to weave around Ewing, driving to the hoop before the towering defender could react. He relied on crafty ball handling, precise passing, and quick bursts of speed to create scoring opportunities for himself and his teammates. Patrick Ewing, one of the most dominant centers of his time, was a defensive powerhouse, leading the New York Knicks with shot blocking, rebounding, and rim protection. But Webb's agility, fearless mindset, and sheer determination allowed him to penetrate defenses and get shots off that taller players might have blocked against others. These matchups were more than just height contrasts. They highlighted how skill, athleticism, and heart could make a smaller player a legitimate threat against the giants of the NBA. Watching Spud Webb navigate around Ewing was a lesson in strategy, courage, and pure basketball brilliance. Earl Boykins versus Shaquille O'Neal. Another jaw-dropping David versus Goliath matchup in NBA history was Earl Boykins, standing just 5 feet 5 inches, going up against the massive Shaquille O'Neal, who towered at 7 feet 1 inch. That's a 1'8" difference, one of the most extreme size mismatches in league history. Boykins, known for his lightning-quick speed, crafty dribbling, and fearless drives, proved that a player's heart and skill could overcome nearly any physical disadvantage. Boykins never tried to outmuscle Shaq. That would have been impossible. Instead, he used his incredible agility to weave around the slower giant, hit mid-range jumpers, and create fast break opportunities. He excelled at finding gaps in the defense, using his low center of gravity to stay balanced, and reading the floor to make teammates better. In multiple games against Shaq and other towering centers, Boykins managed to score efficiently, rack up assists, and even draw fouls on players who literally outweighed him by 50 or 60 pounds. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant big men in NBA history, was a nightmare in the paint. He could block shots at will, overpower defenders, and control the boards. Yet Boykin's fearless approach, speed, and basketball IQ allowed him to thrive despite the size mismatch. Watching Boykin score and move against someone like Shaq was a testament to the fact that basketball isn't just about height. It's about skill, strategy, and courage. Every matchup between Boykins and giants like Shaq became a spectacle, reminding fans that even the smallest player can leave an enormous mark on the game. Extreme big men matchups. While the NBA is famous for David versus Goliath matchups, some of the most fascinating battles happen between giants themselves. Think about Gheorghe Muresan standing 7'7", going head-to-head with Sean Bradley, who towered at 7'6". When two of the tallest players in league history squared off, the game became a slow-motion chess match in the paint. Every rebound, every post move, and every block mattered, because when giants collide, even small mistakes can swing momentum. Another unforgettable matchup was Yao Ming, the 7'6" Houston Rockets star, facing other big men like Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, or Kristaps Porzingis. These games were about more than height. It was about positioning, timing, and skill. Yao's agility and footwork allowed him to hold his own against similarly massive opponents, proving that being tall isn't enough without basketball IQ and finesse. In these matchups, the battles weren't just physical, they were strategic. Coaches designed plays around screens, post-ups, and pick and rolls to exploit every inch of height advantage. Giants like Muresan, Bradley, and Yao could dominate the boards and protect the rim, but they also had to account for each other's size and skill. Fans loved these games because they were rare. Seeing the tallest men in the league clash directly was a spectacle, a slow yet powerful showcase of how height, strategy, and teamwork collide in the NBA. These extreme height matchups teach us a lot about basketball. Size can be a massive advantage, giving players the ability to block shots, grab rebounds, and control the paint. But as the stories of Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, Earl Boykins, and even the towering giants show, height alone doesn't guarantee success. Skill, strategy, agility, and basketball IQ can completely level the playing field. Undersized players use speed, clever footwork, and vision to navigate around taller opponents, while giants rely on positioning, timing, and teamwork to dominate. The lesson is clear. Basketball isn't just a game of inches. It's a game of intelligence, heart, and execution. Whether it's a tiny dynamo outmaneuvering a 7-footer or two giants battling in the paint, every matchup teaches us that determination and skill can triumph over size. And sometimes the most unexpected players steal the show. These incredible height matchups remind us why the NBA is so thrilling. From Muggsy Bogues darting past 7-foot giants to Spud Webb soaring above towering defenders, and from Earl Boykins outmaneuvering Shaquille O'Neal to massive clashes between Yao Ming, Gheorghe Muresan, and Sean Bradley. The league has proven that basketball is about more than just size. Heart, skill, strategy, and courage can sometimes outweigh the tallest players in the game. Which David versus Goliath moment blew your mind the most? Or which giant showdown do you think would be impossible to beat? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you loved reliving these extreme matchups, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more incredible NBA stories. Because in the NBA, whether you're the shortest or tallest on the court, greatness is measured by what you can do with your talent. And these matchups prove it beyond doubt.